So that's one of the big things about STEM education is the kids have to learn to love what they're doing. And so
Also an instigator of imagination and creativity. To be able to say, that's curious, why does this thing work the way it does?
because it's hands-on, because it's open-ended, and because it's using lots of tools and resources they may not have used before, it gets them excited about it.
I think we also do a disservice generally as a community. We make science seem something that's hard, boring, not fun. What we try and do in the planetarium is to make science dynamic, not boring, active, not boring, engaging, not boring, and bring the fun back in these things, and just have curiosity be the prerequisite.
So there's a couple ways. One is to have them actually do it. So whenever we introduce a new curriculum to our teachers, we provide a time for them to actually participate in the challenge themselves.
I think what we try and do, as you know, we have science teachers that work at Space Explorer camps. We want to, again, try and make science fun and have I don't know be an acceptable answer.
And then the other way is for them to actually see their students becoming excited. So as soon as they see their kids engaged in it and see the smiles and the excitement on their faces, then they become very excited about it as well.
Right? I don't pretend to know the answers to all these questions either. But there are ways we can find out. There are places we can go to. And so if a student says, well, how does this thing work? I think trying to pretend that we have the answers to all these problems and saying, I don't know, let's go find out is a good answer.
Right.
And I think if teachers were, and this is not to say teachers don't do this, but I think maybe in science they're a little less reluctant to do that. I think it's incredibly important. We live in the 21st century where we have cell phones, we have microwave ovens, we have televisions and cars, and a very small minority, I bet less than 1%, know how any of these devices work. And so there's a disconnect now between the devices, the toys that we have in our everyday life and the understanding of how these things work. And that's scary, to not know how these things work. I think we have a really hard time getting girls in science, as you know. And your class is going to watch this, and your teacher's going to watch this. And the idea that we're having a hard time getting young girls interested in science is still a 21st century problem. It's not something that was 3 decades ago. And not only do we have a problem getting kids interested in science, we have even a harder problem when we have this kind of sexism still prevalent in the 21st century. And that's not going to disappear. So if you're going to be teachers and you're going to teach science, don't discourage young girls from doing it. Sugar, yes, please.